Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the weekly anime review show. This is Dragonpoet, and I'm presenting to you Legend of the Legendary Heroes. It follows the story of Reiner Lute, who is accompanied by Ferris Eris. They are a duo who are out on search for the heroic relics of heroes past, given to them and tasked by their king and best friend, Xion Astel, who they also kind of hate. Go figure. Anyways, Reiner Lute's a really lazy guy. He enjoys afternoon naps 24/7. If he wants to, he would take a nap 48 hours in a day, if that was possible. But he's known as the greatest mage in all of Roland, and he got this title because of his ability known as the Alpha Stigma. They are special eyes that allow him to analyze and break down all the components of any spell and copy it. So if someone uses magic, he can copy it instantaneously. He knows it, he can counter it. That's why he's the best mage in all of Roland. But that doesn't mean he's the best guy ever. Alpha Stigma users are known to have gone berserk as children and never get out of the berserk state because they are killed immediately. Because they kind of kill everything in their sight. So, he's one of the lucky ones. He's a very special case. And his partner in crime, Ferris Eris, she is a highly skilled swordsman from a prestigious family known as the Eris family. And they are always tasked as being the bodyguard of the king. Her swordsmanship is unparalleled. Her agility and strength is nearly unmatched, and she can take on any kind of mage on an even playing field. She doesn't use magic, but who cares? She has a sword and she will beat you. So that's Ferris for you. And Xion, he is the king of Roland. He started off as his father was the previous king. His mother was a lowly commoner. So yeah, other nobles hated his guts. They're like, trash street rat. Throw him in the streets. We don't want this kid anymore. Because, you know what? He's not real noble blood. He's just a fake, dumb brat. We'll kill him probably. And yeah, he gets a lot of kids bullying him. He gets people trying to kill him. He's got his half-brothers trying to kill him. But even through all of that and the conspiracies done against him, he becomes king. Like a badass. So, sucks to be those guys. But there's still people amongst the kingdom who are just like, don't really like you. Well, we're going to pretend to be nice to you while we're doing all these little backhanded stabby plans behind your back. So, Xion asks Reiner to find these heroic relics in order to create the ideal kingdom where everyone is accepted, everyone can smile, everyone is happy. Even Alpha Stigma users like Reiner. That was the ultimate goal for all of this. But Reiner doesn't know how to use any of these heroic relics that him and Ferris finds. They end up just leaving them out in the open for anyone to tank or just leave them to destroy everything in their wake. I don't know if they're really good people or just really, ignorant. They cause a problem and they just leave it. It's like, oh, there's a giant dragon coming out of the ground. What do we do? Yeah, let's go. Later. Just leave the dragon, just bam. It's just dragon in the middle of the field. They brought it out. They're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to leave and let it run its course. Didn't turn out too well, because the Gastark Empire in the north has been using heroic relics, and they know how to use them to conquer the large nations of the north and work their way down south to conquer the entire continent. So Xion gets his army, does his underhanded stuff, gets ready to retaliate. Reiner wants to understand what do they know about heroic relics and what do they know about Alpha Stigmas because they try to steal his eyes, literally. They're gonna gouge his eyes out after he went berserk. Didn't quite work out. He took out a guy's arm. So, sucks for that guy. So, Legend of the Legendary Heroes has magic. It has swordsmanship. The fight scenes are amazing. The storyline is extremely solid. It hits every point. It's got action. It's got comedy. It's got drama. It's got twists. It's got turns. And then you're like, wait, what the hell is going on with Xion? Oh, wait. What are these heroic relics for? What can they do? And seriously, Reiner, why are you so special? And turns out there are also other eyes. So it's like, what all do these crazy eye people do? And why does that guy have a black arm all of a sudden? So many twists and turns and good flow with the action and story. It was amazing. Up until the end of the show. The show ends with nothing but questions. Not necessarily that the show ended poorly. It ended great. But it didn't end the series. There's still more to the storyline. There is still, like, who is the solver of all formulas that is supposedly in Reiner? Or what is with Shion? And who is his real enemy? And all this stuff. And who was that man at the end? Was that Reiner's father? Or was that just some guy who's orchestrating, puppeteering all these events? What is the secret behind Lucille? And the war. What happens about the war? Does the war end? Do they win? Do they lose? Who's the winner? Which side does Reiner pick? There's a lot of these questions at the end of the series that don't get answered because it ends. It is 24 episodes long. And it was fantastic all the way through. I enjoyed it. The relationship that Reiner and Ferris had was a comedic duo. Like, she would always treat him as her manservant. She, in the beginning through on end, she would not respect him. She'd just treat him like trash, call him a pervert, make up stories that he's a pedophile, and then he also attacks the wives of married men, even though he's none of that. And they mesh very well. Good combination there. So the cast was great. The storyline was great. I just wish they would finish. It's based off a light novel, and there are several volumes of it. 11 volumes for each of the different stories. So there's more to this story. There is no anime for it. So I want them to continue it. Otherwise, I'm going to try to find some decently translated version of the light novels. I'm going to give this show a 5 out of 5. The show would be so much better. Actually, you know what? It can't get any better except continually get better with an ending. All they need to do is get the animators back, finish the show off, tell me what happens in the end. What are with all these different groups? What happens to this person, that person, and this person? And it will be platinum for me. It is already gold. It is a 5 out of 5 for me. I love this show. Go watch it. If you want to watch it in English, it is dubbed by Funimation. If you want, though, I recommend and prefer always the Japanese audio with subtitles. It always just seems to work better. So, 5 out of 5, Legend of the Legendary Heroes. That is it for this week's weekly anime review show. I'm Dragon Poet, and I will see you guys next week. Leave a comment below, subscribe to me, like me, favorite me, criticize me, and I will see you all next week for another episode of the weekly anime review show. Signing out.